Now we come to the famous Venerable Ananda, 1018. A clever man should not make friends with a malicious man, or an angry man, or an envious man, one delighting in others' misfortunes. Contact with a bad man is evil. 1019. A clever man should make friends with a man of faith, and a pleasant man, and one with wisdom, and one with great learning. Contact with a good man is fortunate. 1020. See the painted puppet, a heap of sores, a compounded body, diseased, with many bad intentions, for which there is no permanent stability. 1021. Of great learning, a brilliant speaker, attendant of the Buddha, having laid down his burden, unfettered, Gautama lies down to sleep. Gautama refers to the Ananda, it's a Gautama clan. 1022. With asavas annihilated, unfettered, past all attachments, well quenched, he bears his last body, having reached the far shore of birth and death. 1023. This Gautama stands on the way leading to quenching, on which the teachings of the Buddha, kinsman of the sun, are well founded. 1024. 82,000 I received from the Buddha, 2,000 from the monks. These 84,000 are current teachings. 1025. This man of little learning grows old like an ox. His flesh increases, but his wisdom does not increase. 1026. The man of great learning who despises the man of little learning because of his learning seems to me just like a blind lamp bearer. 1027. One should be the follower of a man of great learning, and one should not destroy learning. This is the root of the holy life. Therefore, one should be an expert in the Dhamma. This is good advice. This Dhamma is the root of the holy life. If you are not an expert in the Dhamma, you won't go very far in the holy life. 1028. Knowing what comes first and last, knowing the meaning, well skilled in understanding words and their interpretation, he seizes it in a good grasp and examines the meaning. 1029. Because of receptivity, he is eager. Having made an effort, he weighs it. At the right time, he exerts himself, well concentrated inside. 1030. Desiring understanding of the Dhamma, one should associate with that disciple of the Buddha who has great learning, is expert in the Dhamma, possesses wisdom, is of such a kind. 1031. Of great learning, expert in the Dhamma, guardian of the great seer's treasury, the eye of the whole world, fit to be worshipped, of great learning. The monk who has delight in the Dhamma, who delights in the Dhamma, meditating on the Dhamma, recollecting the Dhamma, does not fall away from the true Dhamma. 1033. Whence will comfort as an ascetic come for one who is heavy with selfishness of body and greedy for bodily happiness? You are fading away, not exerting yourself. 1034. All the directions are obscure. The doctrines are not clear to me. Our good friend having died, it seems like darkness. This one probably refers to the time when either Venerable Sariputta or Venerable Moggallana passed away. 1035. For one whose comrade has passed away, for one whose master is dead and gone, there is no friend like mindfulness concerning the body. 1036. The old ones have passed away. I do not get on with the new ones. Today I meditate all alone, like a bird gone to its nest. 1037. Do not hinder the many belonging to various different countries who have come to see me. Let the hearers, the congregation, see me. 1038. The teacher gives them an opportunity. The one with vision does not hinder the many belonging to various different countries who have come to see. 1039. No conception of sensual pleasure arose in me. During the 25 years I was a learner, that means an Arya. See the essential rightness of the Dhamma. 1040. No conception of hatred arose in me. During the 25 years I was a learner. See the essential rightness of the Dhamma. 1041. For 25 years I served the Blessed One with loving deeds, like a shadow not going away from him. 10:42. For 25 years I served the Blessed One with loving words, like a shadow not going away from him. 10:43. For 25 years I served the Blessed One with loving thoughts, like a shadow not going away from him. So you see, the Venerable Ananda was so devoted to the Buddha that he didn't have much time to practice and become an Arahant. 10:44. I paced up and down behind the Buddha while he paced up and down. While the Dhamma was being taught, knowledge arose in me. 10:45. I am a learner who still has something to do, not having attained mental perfection, and the quenching has occurred of the teacher who was sympathetic to me. So he's saying he's not perfect yet, and the Buddha has passed on. 10:46. Then there was terror, then there was excitement, when the fully enlightened one, possessed of all excellent qualities, had been quenched. 10:47. Of great learning, expert in the Dhamma, guardian of the great seer's treasury, the eye of the whole world, Ananda is quenched. He attained liberation. 10:48. Of great learning, expert in the Dhamma, guardian of the great seer's treasury, the eye of the whole world, in mental blindness, a dispeller of the darkness of ignorance. 10:49. The seer who was possessed of resourcefulness, mindfulness, and resolution, upholder of the true Dhamma, the elder Ananda, mine of jewels. This jewels is the Dhamma, mine of jewels. He knows so much Dhamma. 10:50. The teacher has been waited on by me. The Buddha's teaching has been done. The heavy load has been put down. That which leads to renewed existence has been rooted out. Mahakassapa. 10:51. One should not wander, revered by the crowd. One becomes distracted. Concentration is hard to obtain. Seeing that the favor of all kinds of people is painful, one should not approve of a crowd. 10:52. A sage should not visit high-born families. He becomes distracted. Concentration is hard to obtain. He is greedy and desirous of flavors, misses the goal which brings happiness. 10:53. They know that this respect and homage in high-born families is truly a bog or a swamp, a fine dart, hard to extract. Honor is hard for a worthless man to give up. 10:54. Coming down from my lodging, I entered a city to beg. I respectfully stood by a leper who was eating. 10:55. He offered a portion to me with his rotting hand. As he was throwing the piece into my bowl, his finger too broke off there. 10:56. But near the foot of a wall, I ate that portion. No disgust arose in me, either while it was being eaten or when it had been eaten. 10:57. For whom leftover scraps suffice as food, smelly urine as medicine, the foot of a tree as lodging, a rag from a dust heap as robe, he truly is a man of the four quarters. Stop here for a moment. So you see this leper, the whole body is rotting, and he even is so compassionate. He comes to this smelly leper to get his food, and when this leper threw a piece of food to him, the finger have rotted so much, also broke off. And yet he didn't feel disgust. So you see, if a person only practices mindfulness, that disgust will arise, that aversion will arise. It's only when his mind is so well controlled that he doesn't want disgust to arise, it doesn't arise. 10:58. Where some are killed climbing up the mountain, there Kassapa climbs, the heir of the Buddha, attentive, mindful, supported by his psychic power. 10:59. Return from alms begging, climbing the rock, Kassapa meditates, without grasping, with fear and dread eliminated. So you see, because of his psychic power, even the sheer face of the cliff also, because of his psychic power, he can climb up. Not afraid of falling. 10:60. Return from alms begging, climbing the rock, Kassapa meditates without grasping, quench among those who burn. 10:61. Return from alms begging, climbing the rock, Kassapa meditates without grasping, his task done without asavas. 10:62. Spread with garlands of Kareri, the regions of the earth are delightful. Resounding with elephants, those lovely rocks delight me. 1063. Those rocks delight me, the color of blue clouds, beautiful, cool with water, having pure streams, covered with Indagopaka insects. 1064. Like the ridge of a blue cloud, like an excellent gabled house, resounding with elephants, those lovely rocks delight me. 1065. The lovely surfaces are rained upon, the mountains are resorted to by seers, made to resound by peacocks, those rocks delight me. 1066. It is enough for me, desiring to meditate, resolute, mindful. It is enough for me, a resolute monk, desirous of the goal. 1067. It is enough for me, a resolute monk, desirous of comfort. It is enough for me, a resolute venerable one, desirous of application of mind. 1068. Being covered with flax flowers, as the sky is covered with clouds, full of flocks of various birds, those rocks delight me. 1069. Not filled with householders, but resorted to by herds of deer, full of flocks of various birds, those rocks delight me. 1070. With clear water and wide cracks, haunted by monkeys and deer, covered with oozing moss, those rocks delight me. 1071. There is not such pleasure from the fivefold music as there is for someone with intent mind, rightly having insight into the Dhamma. 1072. One should not do much work, one should avoid people, one should not exert oneself. He who is greedy and desirous of flavors misses the goal which brings happiness. 1073. One should not do much work, one should avoid that which leads to the goal, which does not lead to the goal. The body suffers and is fatigued. Being pained, it does not find calmness. Stop here for a moment. So if a person wants to progress in this meditation, it's not advisable to do too much work. But still, the Buddha's monks, even though they try not to do work, when it's necessary, they work. We find the Vinaya books. There's one Vasa, when Mahamoggallana, he got the monks to help him. They built 500 kutis for the Sangha during the Vasa. So probably the whole Vasa they were building. Just like our well-known Lungpo Sumedo, the first 10 years when they built Amaravati, their center in England, it seems the first 10 years they were busy from morning to night, working for the good of the many folk, for the good of the Sangha. 1074. By merely touching the lips together, one does not see the self. One wanders around stiff-necked. One thinks, I am better. Stop here for a moment. This refers to external ascetics who refuse to talk. So if they touch the lips together, they never open their lips. So they remain silent and they think they are better than other people. 1075. Not better. The fool thinks of himself as though better. Wise men do not praise that stiff-minded one. 1076. But he who does not waver in the modes of self-conceit, such as thinking, I am better, or again, I am not better, or I am worse, or I am equal. 1077. That venerable one, being possessed of wisdom in that way, being well concentrated in virtues, possessed of mental calm, the wise indeed praise. 1078. He who has no reverence for those living the holy life with him is far from the true Dhamma, as the earth is from the sky. 1079. But the holy life of those whose modesty and bashfulness are always rightly established has come to growth. The renewed existences are annihilated. 1080. A conceited and vain monk, clad in a rag from a dust heap, does not seem impressive because of it, like a monkey in a lion's skin. 1081. One who is not conceited, not vain, zealous, with faculties restrained, does appear impressive because of his rag from a dust heap, like a lion in a mountain cave. 1082. These numerous famous devas with psychic powers, 10,000 devas, all of them belonging to the company of Brahma, stand with cupped hands, revering Sariputta, Dhamma general, hero, great meditator, concentrated. 1084. Homage to you, thoroughbred of men. Homage to you, best of men. We do not understand even that upon which you meditate. 1085. A truly wonderful thing is the Buddha's own profound pasture. We do not understand them, although we have come here as hair-splitting archers. 1086. Then when he saw that Sariputta worshipped in that way by the groups of devas and worthy of worship, there was a smile on Kapina's face. Stop here for a moment. This Mahakapina is another Arahant with great psychic power. We saw in one of the suttas, the Buddha asked the other monks to look at him. He said, look at this monk coming. He's lean with a sharp nose. It's a great psychic power, Mahakapina. One of the 4 monks, when the Buddha flew to the Brahma heavens and emitted light, looking down at the Brahmas, four of the Arahants flew up together to join the Buddha and all emitted light. Mahakapina was one of them. Mahakassapa, Mahamoggallana, and I think Anuruddha. 1087. As far as this Buddha field is concerned, except for the great sage himself, I am outstanding in the qualities of shaking off. There is none like me. 1088. The teacher has been waited on by me. The Buddha's teaching has been done. The heavy load has been put down. That which leads to renewed existence has been rooted out. 1089. Gautama the immeasurable does not cling to robe or bed or food. As the lotus flower is not spotted by water, he is bent upon going forth, entirely detached from the 3 planes of existence. 1090. The great sage has application of mindfulness for his neck, faith for his hands, wisdom for his head. Having great knowledge, he always wanders, quenched. If I continue, we still have now, I think another 117 page, another 17 pages. So maybe I'll continue tomorrow. 16, 17. Anything to discuss? Say again. Page 92. Okay. Triple. This reasoning is when we use our mind, thinking. Thinking. So when you attain to non-reasoning, you don't reason with your mind anymore, you don't think anymore. The disciple of the enlightened one is straight away possessed of noble selves. There are 2 explanations. One is in the second jhana, when a person attains the second jhana, the mind is so concentrated that the thought cannot arise. That is called the state of the noble silence. Another one could be that when a person becomes an arahant, then he has no more uncontrolled mental outflows. He does not have stray thoughts anymore. He does not think of this and think of that. But if he wants to think, it's all control. The other day he asked me whether it's not chanting, general chanting. It's like this, chanting the 32 parts of the body. So the fact that the Buddha taught his disciples this as the first meditation, my opinion is that it is possible, probably, that chanting something non-stop, the same thing again and again and again, then it's probable that one can attain the first jhana. I think the Visuddhimagga also says that, but then Visuddhimagga is not the Buddha's words.
Can somebody give an example about Nikaya and child? For example, taking breath taking Anapanasati as an example. How, in what occasion we have Vipaka without child? invocation of the Chawa Dhammavuddho.
Okay. This, I think I mentioned before, if you're practicing anapanasati, you're mindful of the breath. So you're trying to be mindful of your breath as it goes in and as it goes out. So when your mind runs away to your workplace or to your family and all that, you pull it back. That is called vitakka, thought directed at your object. Okay? And then you stay with your object, stay with your breathing, your mindfulness, stay with your breathing. And that is vichara, thought, sustain on your object. Okay, so every time it runs away, you pull it back, that's using vitakka. And then you keep it on the breath, that's vichara. Okay, but you may have a person whose mind is so disturbed that his mind is always running away. When his mind runs away, he pulls it back. In no time it runs away again, he pulls it back. So he has no vichara, he's not able to sustain on the breath. Okay? So he's keep pulling back all the time, pulling back. That is a person with only with vitakka. Okay? Then if a person has developed the kung fu, then his mind does not wander so much. So he's almost all of the time is on the breath. So he has vichara. He seldom needs to use vitakka. It's already on the breath as vichara. Okay?
I'd like to refer to 916, verse 916, page 86. Onto that. And can you enlighten us on what means fivefold peaceful concentration?
This fivefold peaceful concentration could refer to the 5 jhana factors. When you have the 5 jhana factors, then you have one pointedness of mind. You're in the first jhana.
The other one is from Mahathera, 1036, page 95.
Just now that question, fivefold peaceful concentration, it could also mean the concentration supported by the 5 faculties, maybe.
The second verse is it referring to the same? The next verse says standing in fivefold meditation.
Just have to check the Pali. Okay, the next one.
The next one is 1036. It's quite interesting to learn that as an area. Even here, Dhammavuddho has not been liberated. Says the old ones have passed away and not get off with the new ones to be analytic or learn and practice. As an area, he doesn't seem that much of his life, or he doesn't get on with
Yeah, I think even if he's an arahant, that is possible. Because those new monks, they are greedy. They are not greedy for offerings. They are not interested in meditation and all that. So even the Buddha also, he doesn't like to keep company with such monks. There was a time, there's one sutta where many monks, 500 monks or something, came to the monastery, and they made a lot of noise when they start to greet each other and all that. And when the Buddha found out, just chased them out of the monastery. The Buddha don't want noisy people around him. So even arahant also is possible.
The other one is more on the effect of the life and the in those days when they don't have any monks. So I'm just curious as to how do they take care of the welfare of the monks in the Vinaya.
What do you mean by take care of the welfare?
Say they fall sick or they need things. But for Buddha, we see that he travels, he needs water, to go and act from households. So in this case, it's a community of them stay together. So I was wondering how we support each other. If they go for arms round, they say if for something forces, go out to get the support.
Yeah, but not all the monks have to go on Pindapata. If they have a good reputation, they will get a lot of food. One monk can get 2 or 3 monks' food, or even more. So they can share. So the younger monks will normally, according to Vinaya, the younger monks will look after the whatever work is necessary. Also like looking after a sick monk, certain monks are good at it. Those who are better at it, then they will do it. And also seeing the affinity, this affinity, this friendship is cultivated over years. So when another monk falls sick, he's a friend of this of a particular monk. The particular monk will like to look after him. Just like a family member falls sick, who's going to look after him? The one that is closest to him will look after him. It's the same.
When we were in Thailand, a couple of monasteries that we stayed in, we found that the monks, they go up to the field and come back and eat on their own. So I was wondering if you and the son do it at least the same way?
Some like to do that. Some like to eat with the others, but whatever it is, I'm sure the monks will have their own particular friends. Some will have less, some will have more. And if the monk is a type that does not want to mix with anybody, then maybe he's an arahant. Then those who respect him will look after him, even though they don't really know him well. They respect him for his attainment.
Out of curiosity, but yes, live in very large monastery before. So how do they look after monks or the residents when they live or when they sick or whatever? Do you have certain people to look after the needs of?
Generally, like in the Thai tradition, the abbot is the general. So he directs the monks to do this and do that. So he may have assistants, what is called the Sangha officers in the Vinaya books, those with particular duties. For example, one monk might be in charge of the store. Another monk might be in charge of invitations. If lay people come and invite the monks to go for house dana, then there will be a particular monk who will be in charge of nominating which monk, choosing which monk to go for house dana. Another one might be in charge of the kuti, to allot the kuti. Another one might be in charge of maintenance. So there might be one in charge of looking after sick monks. Then he will probably order whatever medicine is necessary and all these things. So it depends all on the CEO, the abbot. If you have a good CEO, then everything will be run very nicely. You don't have a good CEO, then the monastery is a bit of a chaos. There are some monasteries where the Vinaya is no good, then the monks are selfish, especially like city monasteries. then all the monks are thinking of money, and as they say, kiki ku kiki. Everybody each looks after the other. I've also gone to such a ward, and I see sometimes a monk is sick, nobody bothers with him. Okay, shall we stop here?